Hi, I'm going to show you some differences in decks, and when you buy a different deck of tarot cards, how different they can look. This top deck I'm using is from the Gilded Tarot. This is the book. You can get it on Amazon or wherever you like. This is a nice book. It's a very good explanation. Not only does it show you the meanings, but it tells you to look at the card and helps you see how it's described. However, too, it's very important to look at a card and see what you see in the card. I like to look at the meaning of the card and then take a step back and look at the design of it and what does that really mean. This deck down here is called the Black Cat Tarot deck. It did not come with a book. I bought this just because I thought they were so cute. It ends up, these two decks are the decks I read with the most. I have a couple others. I choose a deck to read with kind of just by chance. I have my decks available, and when a question comes in, I use the deck that I feel more comfortable with. Or if I'm reading in person, I actually let the querent choose the deck to, what they feel more connected to. So, because they do look different, and when you read them, sometimes they show a little different. These three cards aren't terribly different. It's the lady with the lion. She's taming the lion. And as you can see in the Black Cat, it's also pretty much the same. She's here, and the lion's here, and she has the lion tamed also. She has the lion calm. So, but also, look at how it makes you feel when you're doing the readings. I was given this suggestion by my mentor to get a book out. I have a page for every card in the deck. And I take some time and I look at the cards and I write down not only what the true meaning is, or the gilded or rider white meaning of the cards are, but I also look at the card for myself and see what it does for me. So like, I'll have a page, let's say in my book, for strength, but I'll have a meaning kind of a little different depending on the deck I'm using. So, and it's important to look at the look of the card. So for instance, here is the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups in this is nice and green and pretty and cheery, whereas the Six of Cups here, you can see that he's thinking of the past. Is the past coming in, or is he thinking too much on the past? When I read on this card, it always reminds me that maybe we're living in the past too much, that we need to move on instead of living there. When I see this card, it reminds me more of something happy coming from the past, good news from your past. So as you can see, they're the biggest difference when we're looking at this set of cards. So when you're looking at the Emperor, here he's got control, but here he has two. He's on a throne here. Here he's standing straight and solid. He looks a little more scary here. So I would say that, he looks just a little bit more in control. So I wanted you to see that and to read it differently too. This is darker, but again, we're dealing with three different colors. So when you're reading, when you have a reading like this, it kind of shows not real smoothness to it. And this one is the same thing like we talked about in the earlier reading. So sometimes this deck is really nice because it is nice and bright colors and it can really catch your eye on what's going on around it. Whereas this deck is a little darker, it is, and they're a little harder to see the detail on it. But when you're reading it in front of you, it makes more sense. But it's really important to look at a card and not only know the meaning, that we know the Six of Cups is about the past and we know it's nostalgic, but what way is it going? So what do you see in the picture? When you're reading, use your intuition, and when you see that card, not only the meaning, but how does it make you feel and what do you see at that time during the reading? So using the pictures is really important while you're reading, and I wanted you to see the difference in cards. And you should always choose a deck that makes you feel good and that you feel like you can identify with. This is a great starter deck because the book is so good. This is a fun deck and I really enjoy it. It makes me feel good when I read. So, but you have to use what you need to use. So I hope that kind of helps on how the cards look and what to look for. I'll do a few more of these on more differences and specific cards, and we'll talk about, you know, what's in the background and what do you see and how does it make you feel. So anyway, I hope that helps and gives you a little inside information on what to look for when you're reading, and how the card makes you feel is very important. And that's it. Take care.